So hello friends, I'll be explaining about the two boundaries, superficial as well as the deep boundaries of the peritoneum. So we'll partition into two parts and we'll study about the superficial boundaries as well as deep boundaries of the peritoneum. In the superficial boundary, there are 3 points to be noted: anterior, second one is the posterior, and the third one is on each side. And on the same way, even in the deep boundaries of perineum, there is anterior, posterior, as well as on each side. Okay, so we'll look after the boundaries of both superficial and deep perineum on the superficial and deep sides. So boundaries in the superficial, on the anterior side there is scrotum and mons pubis in scrotum in male, mons pubis in female, and on the posterior side there is buttocks. So if you look at these two diagrams, this is of the male and this is of the female, you can see the boundaries as on the anterior side. Okay, if this is the anterior side, this half, and this half is the posterior side. So on the anterior side in females there is mons pubis. You can see the urogenital triangle as well as the anal triangle. The anterior side there is mons pubis, and on the posterior side there is buttocks, two buttocks. Whereas in the males, on the anterior side there is penis as well as the scrotum, and on the posterior side there are buttocks. And on each side you can see that there is medial aspects of the thigh. You can see there are two thighs and there is medial aspects of the thigh. So we'll make a note of it. On the anterior side in male there is scrotum, and in female there is mons pubis. Okay, so anterior part is done. Posterior part, I said there are buttocks on each side. There are two buttocks on each side, and on the each side, on the posterior side, and on the each side there is presence of upper medial part of thigh. So upper medial part of thigh. Okay, now we'll look after the deep boundaries of the peritoneum. Okay, so this is the diagram for deep boundaries of the perineum. You can see there is a perineal arch present here. After that, okay, this is the anterior, this is posterior side, and this on each side. So on the anterior side there is pubic arch, and below that you can see a ligament called as inferior pubic ligament or the arcuate ligament. The green one is called as inferior pubic ligament or the arcuate ligament. If you consider on the posterior side, you can see the tip of the coccyx. On the posterior side there is presence of the tip of the coccyx. Now if we look after on the each side of the deep perineal boundaries, there is presence of the conjoint ischiopubic ramus, ischial tuberosity, as well as the sacrotuberous ligament. Okay, if we see the structures deeply, you can see the conjoint ischiopubic ramus, ischial tuberosity on each side, as well as the large green color sacrotuberous ligament. So these are the deep boundaries of the perineum. Easier one, right? Now we'll write the deep boundaries of the perineum. On anterior side, whatever I said, first one is there is pubic arch. Do the diagram for exam, and there is arcuate or inferior pubic ligament. Okay, so this is done. And on the posterior side, there is coccyx tip. There is coccyx tip. You can see the tip of the coccyx. On the each side, there is presence of three things. First one is conjoint ischiopubic ramus. Okay, the second one what is present is the ischial tuberosity. And the third one which is present is sacrotuberous ligament. Okay, these are the three things present on the east side of the perineum. You understood about the superficial as well as deep parts of the perineum. So, between these superficial as well as deep fascia of the anal tract, there is a space or there is a fossa which is called as ischioanal fossa or the ischiorectal fossa. So, between the superficial and deep fascia of anal canal or anal tract, so between the superficial and deep fascia of the anal tract, there is a space or there is a fossa. So what is it called as? It is called as ischioanal fossa or ischiorectal fossa, also called as ischiorectal fossa. Okay, so we'll study about this ischiorectal fossa deeply in the next class because it's a very important topic. We'll study for exam. Usually they'll ask about the boundaries of the ischiorectal fossa, the recesses or the space of the ischiorectal fossa, the gaps of the ischiorectal fossa. Then they'll be asking about the arrangement of these fascia. So arrangement of fascia, and then about the contents. So these four are very important topics, usually asked for 5 or 10 marks. Ischiorectal fossa. And based upon the arrangement of fascia, it is further classified into two types based upon the canal and space. Okay, the canal we'll be studying about the pudendal canal, pudendal canal, a very important topic we'll be studying in the next videos. And the space is of two types, that is ischioanal space as well as it is ischioanal space as well as the perineal space. Ischioanal space and perineal space. Ischioanal space as well as the perineal phase. The ischioanal space is further of two types, that is suprasegmental space as well as tegmental space. Suprategmental and tegmental. So it is of suprategmental as well as tegmental phase. So between the superficial and deep fascia of the anal tract, there is a space called as ischioanal fossa or ischiorectal fossa. We'll be studying about the boundaries, recess, arrangement of these fascia contents in the next video. In the arrangement of fascia, it is classified into a canal anal canal as well as anal space, which has pudendal canal and space is ischioanal space as well as the perineal space. Further, the ischioanal space is classified into two types, that is suprategmental space as well as the tegmental space. In the next video, we'll be studying deeply about the perineal body. Very important question, usually asked for 3 marks. It is a short essay question, short essay 5 or 3 marks question. So hope you like this video. If you like, please thumbs up, like, share, subscribe. Thank you.